All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order, 5:30.
The last couple meetings I've been here, I've sitting back and closer to the front. But for the residents that are back here that can't really hear, could you speak up for them? Because it's really hard to hear back there. Thank you.
All right, Article 2, accept the minutes of the previous selectmen's meetings.
Is there an agenda available? I didn't see any of it.
And on the tables were...
I did send an email to the town, through the town's secure email, requesting a pamphlet be prepared for tonight's meeting, and that was never responded to. I have a copy of the email that I sent. I've printed off many of them. If anyone would like to read that or have a copy of it, they're more than welcome to it. I'm not sure why I am being denied access to fulfill my oath. Yes, there was copies of these, but there wasn't a copy of that.
You got to sign it.
Oh, that still doesn't answer my question as to why I had no response.
There wasn't a packet?
33% of this board I sit on. Together we make one board of selectmen, and I did send the email. Would you like to see it, or have you seen it? Or have you seen it?
I've seen it.
You did. Would you be able to find out from?
You asked for a packet, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, there wasn't a packet.
So we're not going to prepare.
The information is actually in your mailbox that you haven't come down to pick up.
Oh, but
Yeah.
you didn't respond to that email.
Well, you also said that you wanted it by noontime, and it was there before noontime. I just thought that you would be down to pick it up like everyone else has.
Does everybody else have a protection order filed against them?
No, it doesn't say you can't come to the town office.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, actually, is this my copy?
Those are the ones we have to sign. Those are the official ones that would get approved.
I'm going to have to take a moment to read them since I haven't seen them.
Sure.
We could avoid this delay in the public's time if we could just get our stuff together.
Just pick it up.
It's right there for you, Tom.
I apologize for this delay, folks, but it would be, I would have to be foolish to agree to something that I haven't read.
It was available in your box, so it could have been picked up to be read before the meeting.
birds have it all cleaned up. Yeah.
I believe the minutes for the February 27th, is that correct? This is what this is for February, where we read Matt Ellis's resignation letter into the minutes? It's not in here? This should be amended to include his resignation letter?
Okay.
It is corrected in here.
No, but I'm saying you made a motion to accept the resignation.
Yes.
Matt seconded it, and Kathy didn't vote.
It says it in here.
No, it says Kathy seconded it.
So who are you saying seconded it?
Matt did, you made the motion, Matt seconded it, and Kathy didn't vote. It's on the YouTube channel.
Okay,
Recorded.
so that's wrong then.
Needs to be amended.
How are we going to handle that, Mr. Chairman?
Let's amend it again.
So we are going to make a motion to move to amend the minutes.
Yep.
To correct second
Correct.
on the resignation
Yep.
acceptance of Matt Ellis. And to
Kathy.
include Matt Ellis's resignation letter into the minutes.
Sure.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Opposed? So that's how that would be corrected
Yep.
on the record.
So this is saying, he's saying it's in capitalized by me. So he's saying the second one by Matt. I just voted for it. The second wasn't by me, it had to be me.
I do not approve of the way it says executive session personnel matters. This is the one that's in question where the meeting was adjourned and then everyone went into executive session and decided to make,
Yeah, that's going to be on Article 7.
what's that now?
That's going to come up here in Article 7. is ready business.
So then these minutes they're not illegal.
They're correct minutes.
That's what happened.
So I'm not going to go along with that. So,
That's how they were taken, that's how.
well, that's how things
Theoretical.
happen,
Yeah,
but it's wrong.
Well, that's how the
And I made a
meeting
motion
happened.
to correct it and strike it, and it fell on the floor and no one seconded it.
yep,
So the minutes that you guys have signed,
yep. Or how they were taken.
It's
that's
how the
minutes.
meeting took place.
Yep.
Exactly.
it's how it wasn't legal, but that's how it took place, yes.
That's what minutes are.
All right, moving on. Article 3, public question and answer. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Woodland, I live on Marcuston Road, and in the August 22nd Selectmen's meeting, Article 8 was about online registrations, and Mr. Drew, Selectman Drew, made a motion for the staff to investigate that process, and Mr. Tardy seconded it, so the motion was passed. I was just wondering where we're at with that, and if it's going to be going forward, if something's going to be done about it.
What did that? Ball was dropped on that.
Okay.
Not sure.
Could you repeat the first part of that? I couldn't quite hear you.
The August 22nd meeting, Selectmen's meeting, Article 8 was on online registrations. A discussion was had. Selectman Drew made a motion for the office staff to proceed in an investigation, and Mr. Tardy seconded that. And the motion passed. And it's rapid renewal, and I was just wanting an update as to where we're at with that, because we do have residents that are interested in it.
Because the motion was made, seconded, voted on,
Yes.
then that still is alive and continues. It's not something that can just be dropped.
Yes.
So, since it's been brought to our attention,
The employee that said that they would do it is no longer employed with the town, so we'll have someone else research it and get back with you.
Okay. So that'll be probably an update for the next meeting?
Yep.
We'll try for it, yeah.
I mean, I've done a little bit of research. I know that it's done online on main.gov. It's a pretty simple process. Shouldn't take much but 5 minutes, but the board and the clerk have to do that.
Okay. Yep.
Okay?
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Rose Monahan, Pratt Road. Mr. Drew said that he made copies of an email that he sent to you all. May I approach and get a copy of that?
sure.
Certainly.
There's actually two. Well, you can have this one as well. This one here, I've requested the opportunity to join the Zoom meetings, join the executive meetings through Zoom. And again, I haven't heard back from the town office. They're very busy.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. In the December 19th minutes that were distributed today, you talk about, on the last page, Article 10. I don't know where Article 11 is, but anyway, Article 10 states that you've apparently retained the services of Bernstein Shore. And what matters have you retained them in?
We were referred to them by our town's attorney, Solomon Kirble, on personnel matters, because Rick didn't want to take the personnel matters on that we had coming up.
And so have you signed a retainer agreement with them?
We have, yes, we have. Yep.
And are you willing to identify the nature of the personnel matter without identifying any particular employee?
I don't think so. No.
Why not?
Not sure. I'd have to ask our Bernstein Shore before we answer that.
If you could identify the nature of the case that they're representing you on? And
Yep, I'd definitely, I'd have to check with them before I'd agree to anything,
Okay.
so.
You've also retained the services of other firms to represent the town?
They were assigned to us. The other firms were assigned to the town. We didn't choose them, they were assigned to us.
Is that a different matter than?
Yep.
So
2,
there's-
3, or 4 matters, yep.
How many legal matters is the town dealing with right now?
3 of them.
You have 3 legal matters.
Yep,
The first one with Bernstein Shore is a personnel matter, which you're not willing to identify the
Yep.
nature of it.
Yep.
The second one that I believe Badger and Large of Bangor are representing you on is
Yep.
what type of a case?
personnel again.
And that involves the town.
Yep,
And what is the third matter?
personnel again.
So you have 3, there's 3 different firms?
Yep,
And what is the third firm?
I think it's the MMA, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The state,
and they sent us to, what's his name?
Yule?
Yeah, Eric Ewell.
Yeah, Eric Yule. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure the name of the firm, but Eric Yule's the lawyer on there.
And has the town signed retainer agreements with Eric Ewell, Badger and Large, and Freddie Clarity?
We didn't have to.
We didn't have to because they were assigned to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of those 3 firms, are you covered by some sort of insurance to pay for
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Will the town incur any legal fees?
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. Yeah.
And you've signed a retainer agreement promising to pay those?
Like I said, they were assigned to us.
Okay.
We didn't
And then
sign
the-
any agreements, they were
There's no-
assigned us, so no, we haven't signed anything.
Okay. So I would request that you inquire as to what information you can provide to the townspeople.
We know the fees and stuff, but I'm not sure if we're allowed to let that out.
Well, I mean, it's like, is it a car accident? Is it
No,
a,
it's
Oh, no,
personnel
it's a
matter.
personnel matter, all of it's personnel matter. All 3 cases.
okay. Thank you very much. Wait, one more thing with regard to that. On the same set of minutes, December 19th, you refer to an executive session at the end,
Yeah.
and you refer to a document, I believe, wherein to make the town clerk and town administrator aware that there is no ruling authority regarding employee contract conflict. Mr. Chairman, you and I have had discussions about that document, and you've indicated to me that you know what document that is, and I've asked you for a copy of it.
Yes.
And will you provide it to me?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of it tonight?
No, I don't. No.
So I've been told on a couple of occasions that it would be provided to me, so I'm just asking when it would be provided to me.
Tom might have it here tonight. He's the one that brought it to the meeting that you referred to on the video.
I do have a copy of it tonight. I've had a copy of it since my mail was picked up for my employee.
Could you show it to the chairman, please, and ask him to identify if that's the document that's being referred to?
Yep. Yeah, I know the document.
You do?
Yep, I know.
Why is it that she can't be provided with
Well,
this public document?
I didn't see on the video, I couldn't see that it was held up to the camera to see that, because you had a whole stack of documents.
Right.
But
Yes, so I can get you a copy of the document.
Mr. Chairman, I will clarify that on February 13th, when I met with you, you indicated you knew exactly what document it was, and you would
Yeah.
provide it to me.
Yep.
But Tom, if you don't mind, would you please pass that down, the document that is being referred to on the December 19th? May I have an audible response? Is that the document? Is that the document that's being referred to here?
Yes, it is.
And may I have a copy of it?
Yeah.
When can I pick it up?
How about tomorrow?
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Yes, go ahead.
last meeting, the remaining office clerk had made a statement that she was doing the job of 2 people. So that being said, also our senior selectman, Mr. Drew, had made a comment to say that we were headed in the same path that we once were. I'd like to know at this point, are we in fact where we once were 6 months ago? And/or are all our bills taken care of? Have our checkbook been reconciled? Has that stuff been concluded at this time?
To my knowledge, we're in a mess. I received a phone call today from the woman that made the error in dealing with the IRS. She acknowledges the fact that she made a typo that she caught and rectified, and the IRS was notified. Then the IRS made a mistake of their own, which has been rectified. And then we went through a series of time where we didn't have a clerk at all, as you recall, and no one to make payroll. And the heat was on because the school is protected by the union. And the school is also owned by the town of Woodland. So if we should surpass the legal deadline for these teachers to be paid their bi-weekly or weekly salaries, then we would be in trouble legally through the union. So we reached out to Donna Ekman, who did step in and make payroll, basic payroll, for the employees that still existed, that kept roads plowed. She was not able to get involved in overtime and all the details around the basic 40-hour work week. And those W-2s were issued to the employees. And there's a problem with the way they were recorded by the clerk or the town administrator, who had been forced out before she could rectify any way these things were logged in the system. So now the IRS has reached out to the town wanting clarification on W-2s. I was made aware of this today, not by the board, because the board doesn't function as it should. So we've lost, pardon me, my mouth is very dry. We've lost the town administrator. We've lost a good highwayman. We have 2 people left in the highway department. So I would say we are headed down a path that isn't going to be good. The difference is your town has hired 3 law firms to start with. You've just heard that here tonight, correct? Yeah. That's included in this nightmare, okay? Buckle up. Buckle up.
Okay.
I have
So-
something to say.
Well, I just wanted to clarify okay, go ahead.
I want to clarify the 941X for the final time. The 941X was filed in September of 2022 on an error that was made in June of on the quarter in June of 2022. The treasurer reported was supposed to report $404,000 in wages. She made an error and reported $1,404,000. So she immediately filed, as soon as it was brought to her attention, she did her best to correct it. She filed a 941X, which can only be filed in paper form. It cannot be filed online. She filed the 941X. She corrected the $1,404,000 to read $404,000. You cannot just correct that one box. The form populates itself. So the entire form needed to be corrected. So since that time, it has been kicked out every quarter because it's been in error. We have a stack of 941 requests for us to make a change to this form. We actually got a bill for $221,000. I think I told you that the last meeting. And I have taken the necessary paperwork to Felch's office. We've got it in process right now. It was stated that it was filed online in September. A 941X cannot be filed online. They're going to do a pilot program this year to allow that to be done. So where you got your information about that, I'm not sure.
It's Janet Schofield.
Janet Schofield did the first one, and she tried to correct the first one, and it didn't populate all the boxes. Okay, now, I got a few other things I want to go over right now. In February of 2023, Town of Woodland's checking account hadn't been reconciled for about 9 months. We hired a CPA at the tune of about $4,000 to come in and bring us current. When he accomplished the task, which had to be done in order for us to go to audit, we came within $400 of balancing for that 9 months. So when you're doing a checking account the size of the towns, that's pretty good, putting a stranger in the spot to do it. Since that time, we have even recovered some of that $400 that he didn't find. So I think by me saying this tonight, I hope this will alleviate any concerns or questions you have about the person that was accused back then. That town treasurer. Everything come out fine. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the postmarks on the envelopes of our taxes. It was brought to us last week that we were 6 days out, everybody getting their W-2. Every envelope was post-dated January 31st. Our mail leaves here and it turns in Bangor and comes back. Whatever the date is postmarked in Bangor is the date the person was referring to. Everything was dated January 31st. Another thing I'd like to talk to you about right now is the reconciliation of our checking account. Ever since I come on as a selectman in July, when I come to a meeting, I've asked before every meeting if I could have the balances in each account, and I need to see what the checking account reconciliation is. To this date, in December, the last time I asked, we haven't had one done since last February. I come on in July, and I asked for it every meeting and didn't get it. After that, you want to know what I was doing in the town office? Bridget, Matt, and myself, we've worked on a lot of different accounts that I need to bring you current on. For example, we have a fuel oil company that came into our town office and worked on our heat pump. The bill was $540 some odd. This went to a collection agency and we got charged off for non-payment. I called the company and I talked to them, and they had a list of the different dates and times that they spoke with our employee and was promised payment. They never received payment. This has been rectified. The next one I want to talk to you about is an $11,000 overpayment to a fuel oil company that we get services from. I asked the employee why there was an $11,000, and she said that she received a check in the mail for it. Said, what did you do with the check in the mail? She deposited it into our account. So I went ahead and I showed her 7 different invoices where each month we received our credit for this $11,000. The next thing that happened, I got a call from a local bank, wanted to speak to me about our credit card account. I think you were there that day. I spoke with the gentleman and he said, I'm sorry to inform you that we're going to have to close your credit card account. We got to lock the account. Why? Non-payment. Said, how many months are we behind? And I said, well, if we have no option, close the account. Close the account. We've since reestablished a new account and we're current with that bank. As you know, in the beginning here, when I first started, the Moses account had been closed for the town. Bridget Coates here worked with them. She's retrieved all that account information and reopened the account for our residents. The audit for 2022, someone was asked why I was allowed to work in the town's finances. I did not work in the town finances. All I did was bring the documentation Felch's office had asked for 5 months. The various documentation to complete our audit. I went in the town office and I found the documentation and we took it to Felch's office and our audit is complete. And the last thing I'd like to talk to you about is Bureau of Motor Vehicle. we've been put on suspension, said, if you do not get the checks to us on time, then we have no choice but to suspend the town of Woodland. So right now, we're in a vulnerable position with them, but we're still operating. And we're getting the checks to them on time. So those are a few things I think that you needed to know about the updates in the town office. If anybody has any question, I'd be happy to answer them.
I do.
Go ahead.
It's my understanding that there was an email exchange not once but twice in reference to paying Moses and DMV, and the lack of payment to the state was because you wouldn't sign the warrant when it was just you and I on the board.
A warrant doesn't need to be signed to be sent into the state for any fees to the state of Maine. You know that.
But that is the reason.
You know that. You know that.
No.
A warrant does not need to be signed if you're paying the town's bills to the state of Maine.
But that's not what the employee was told by you.
That employee was not told that by me, Mr. Drew.
Well, with all due respect, that's what I have been led to believe.
Oh, I'm sorry that you were led to believe that because you're led down the wrong road.
Thank you for the answer.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys, for clarifying this.
You're welcome.
One question in regards to that, as far as the current town employee and the office help, is that situation working out fairly well for us? I was in, registered my vehicle, and things turned out really well. I was kind of unfamiliar with the base that was there, but at the same time, she did a great job. Bridget was sitting in the back corner, and obviously everything went well, but as long as it's working out, that was my main.
She's not a regular employee. She's an occasional help.
Just briefly, thank you for addressing the W-2 form envelopes. So what I'm understanding is that they were postmarked at the town office on January 31st.
Yes.
And are you saying they were put in the mail on January 31st?
Put in the mail.
Where were they put in the mail?
Where'd you put it in the mail? Right here.
In the mailbox.
Is that, you put them in the mail? Who put them in the mail?
Yeah, I ran them right out, dropped them in the mailbox.
On January 31st?
31st.
You're the person that did that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you very much.
Yep. Yes.
Neil Moore, I just want to say thank you to Bridget for your hard work. Yes. You've been doing a great
So with that, just for a quick moment, I just want to thank all of you that sent flowers I received yesterday. Beautiful flowers, thank you.
I'd just like to say, stuff's been moving forward in the town office. We're not behind on anything right now. We are moving forward, not full capacity, but we need some help on need the other employee hired. Hopefully here soon, we'll find somebody, but we're moving forward and everything's current. Yes, Robert?
Rob Butler, Woodland Center. So in the minutes, in the reports, I noticed that we cite treasurer, office administrator, clerk, road commissioner. Are these their actual titles and positions?
Yes, we are.
So, because these positions are protected by state statute, right?
Yeah.
So we're in agreement that, for example, the town clerk is afforded all of the protections that are in the state statutes regarding that position, correct?
Yeah.
And we would say the same about the town treasurer, and if we had a deputy.
Yeah. They are deputies in the town. The town clerk and the town tax collector are deputies of each other.
They are.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
That's what it says on the documents and that they were notarized at the town office.
Are they bonded?
I don't know, probably the state, I'm not sure.
Could you get back to me on that?
Sure, yeah.
So let's see. What about the road commissioner? That's the title. That's the job.
Yeah.
Is that what he is?
He's the road commissioner.
And he's afforded all of the protections in the statute with that job description.
Yeah.
What are you talking
In the
about?
statute, it lays out his responsibilities
Yeah.
in particular, just like it does the select person responsibilities, as it does the clerk and the treasurer.
Yeah.
So what I'm wanting to know is is the road commissioner afforded those?
I would assume so, yes.
Okay. The reason I'm asking this is that it just seems a little concerning that we've got we got 3 or 4 law firms. 3. Does that include Solomon?
No.
So 4,
He's
right?
the town attorney.
Yeah. So,
It's the different variations of lawsuits that were filed against the town.
right,
Each one, through MMA, each one has a different,
yeah.
so it's like, here's MMA, and these are the attorneys underneath MMA that send you to.
Because I'm just concerned that we've got one person full-time in the office.
Who referred us to another one because he didn't want to take that on.
No, I was talking about our clerk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right? So we're down one in the office there, we're down one in the garage.
Yeah.
So, like, we have to be, like Ethan said, he had a good point about the concern. So, it's just, you know, if we're gonna use these terms, then they ought to be given the rights and responsibilities of them as well. That's my point.
Rose Monahan, Pratt Road. With respect to the staffing of the town office, it's been repeatedly referred to that Bridget is working there alone with some intermittent help. Could you update us on what's going on with, is there a search for a new town administrator? Is the town administrator completely separated from employment, and will be hiring a new one? Will it be the same position of town administrator? Could you just kind of update us with what's going on with that?
The notice went up in the paper last week for the job opening.
For town administrator?
For it's tax collector, and I don't have it right in front of me, just treasurer, town treasurer, and tax collector.
Which newspaper?
Rooster Republican. Yep, there was an article in there too for the position for the road crew. And then there was one that said the towns is available for taking papers out for the elections as well. All 3 of those were in last week's paper.
Okay, so we're advertising for a new treasurer?
Yep. Yep.
And was that what, so the person that I'm familiar with was always referred to as a town administrator. Are these being used interchangeably? I'm not that familiar with.
So the job is tax collector and town treasurer. That's the job. That's what it was when it was listed back in March or May. That was the same matter of fact. We took the same ad in the paper, and that's what she was sworn in as too, was town tax collector and treasurer.
Her contract says town administrator.
She changed the contract
Yeah.
to town administrator.
Well, Harold and I
She
hired
was
her as the
sworn
town
in,
administrator.
she was sworn in. She raised her hand and was sworn in as tax collector and town treasurer.
And we have the document, the notarized documents. for
She was
that.
never sworn in as a town administrator.
Yeah. There's never been a town administrator in this town.
A while back, I don't even remember where it originated from, but there was circulated that we had a town clerk and a town administrator. Remember, there was controversy about the duties
Yeah.
and stuff. So I only ever saw the job descriptions for a town administrator and town clerk. As a citizen, those are the 2 positions that I would like to believe.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to.
On the website too. Like it was listed that one person was the administrator and one person was the clerk. So if that wasn't correct, then, you know, the board could have said, hey, I need you to change that right now, that you're the treasurer.
All I know is that we have the notarized documents of what she was sworn in as at the town office, and on no document does it say town administrator. We've never had one up until that point. It was always the tax collector and treasurer, and they are deputies of each other. They do the same one. She is town clerk, deputy tax collector, treasurer. And same thing of those guys. They're equals, they're deputies of each other.
And town treasurer, is that a statutory position like town clerk is? I mean, would I be able to
Yes,
go to Mason
yes.
statutes and look
Yep,
at those duties?
yep.
So that's what we're looking for right now.
Yes,
And
yep.
going forward, that's what the new employee will be, that's how they will be referred to, and those will be the job
Yes,
responsibilities.
yep, yep.
That's the way it was when the former one was hired, exactly the same way.
That's not true.
That is true.
She was hired as the town administrator, the contract says it, and we signed it.
You
It's already
made up
Thomas
a
Stewart.
contract. You hired her with the ad in the paper. We used the same
We used
ad.
the same ad.
Town treasurer
And
and,
then when we interviewed her, and we negotiated with her, we came to terms with what we decided to do before your time.
well, why
here.
didn't you swear her in as town administrator?
Well, I can't answer that question
Well,
for you,
there.
but I'd like to see the paperwork you possess.
You're
7
ridiculous.
bags of shredded documents left the town office in the last 2 months.
How many people laughed?
Yes, yes, it is.
No, I mean, I was told that.
Hey, point of order. No. Okay, next question. Robert had a question.
I can answer, I think, the reason that someone would not be sworn as a town administrator is it's not a statutory protected position. So you got two choices.
Don't know.
You either swear them in as a clerk or a treasurer. That's it. Until we go to a town manager plan, which we're not there. But those are the options, right? Yeah, right.
I know exactly what she
And because we were not a town manager form of government, MMA said that she would have to have the title of administrator. That's what we were told.
I need that documentation.
Yes.
On the December 19th document that we were referring to, she's referred to as a town administrator.
Yes,
Yes,
she is.
she was, yeah. She referred to herself that the whole time she was here.
Could you read that paragraph, please, Mr. Drew?
It is by unanimous decision by the Board of Selectmen present that the position of the town clerk of Woodland made equal to that of the town administrator. Both positions will report to the Board of Selectmen for approval of all work-related conflicts and questions. Any controversy will be decided upon by the Select Board. I was not present. These two selectmen wrote this and signed their names to it, acknowledging her as the town administrator as her contract states, period. Well, there's only two.
Who would be referred to in that letter by administrator? It seemed to be pretty vague.
Who referred to?
There was no reference there to state that anyone.
I'm saying that these two folks wrote this, and they referred to one of the two employees as the town administrator and moved to make their positions equal.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
Fair enough, it may have been to understand that there was some controversy there.
Well, it would be good to acknowledge the fact that there exists two titles. I just heard them say there wasn't, but then they wrote a paragraph acknowledging that there was, and they moved to make them equal. That's like having your cake and eating it too. So,
Okay, we're going to skip to article number 8. Actually, it's going to be article number 7. Look at that. So at the December 19, 2003 meeting, this being my first meeting, being voted in as the chair, I adjourned the regular meeting previous to going into the duly listed executive session. I alleviate any concerns, and out of an abundance of caution, I make a motion to void this meeting and any vote taken as a result. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I think this is exactly what I asked last meeting, to strike this,
Yeah,
and you did not
I had to
acknowledge
give
it.
clarification, legal clarification.
Oh.
So, any discussion?
None. I think that's a great thing to do. Anyone that does something wrong and corrects it
Yes.
is awesome.
Yes.
That's a true form of a good leader.
Yeah. All in favor?
There.
Okay,
Let's go to executive session.
all right.
There.
So we're gonna
Now, are you going into executive session?
we need a motion.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are we going into executive session?
I'm not sure.
Is that what's going on right now?
We're
Because
not required by law to provide him with a Zoom meeting.
Yes. What on?
well, I didn't get that
Okay,
answer.
all right.
I asked for an
Until
answer,
now.
Okay.
and I didn't get it. I was told to use the town's secured email. I've done that, and no one answers me when I email to the town office.
It's in your mailbox.
It's in your mailbox.
Well, I can't come to the mailbox
Why can't you come to the mailbox?
because
Where are you?
what was the date? I can't
You can-
remember. How
You
could I
can go to
forget?
your mailbox.
You can go to your mailbox and come to the town office anytime you want, Tom.
I believe it was the 20th. The 20th of December, the police were called for harassment orders
Yeah.
against me.
Make a motion.
And then, I'm explaining why we can't come in here. And then I drove to Bangor to go to court about it. There was 3 charges against me for a protection order. 2 of them were dismissed in Bangor. The town office was closed, so they could attend it. And then they drove home. There's 1 more pending. I do not feel safe going to the town office. And again, I've expressed that in this email. If anyone would like a copy of the email that I sent, this is what's been going on for the last 85 days in your town office. Okay? It's that simple. There's more here than meets the eye. So it's not that I don't want to participate, it's that I'm being denied my official public duty.
You're allowed to come anytime you want, and you know you're allowed to come.
It's not safe to come. We've proven that.
No, we're not safe, Tom.
No. Pardon me?
Like I said, we were the ones that weren't safe, that's why we
That's
had to
what
call
you're
the
saying.
sheriff. Yeah.
Okay. Because I have surveillance that should suggest otherwise, which I can't wait to share it with the public. It's awfully hard to look at, listen to, and live through.
So Tom hasn't been coming to the executive sessions and the meetings and the stuff that's been going on in the town office on his own choice. That's it. So, all right, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
We're gonna
For
go
what?
to executive
Oh,
session.
yeah, okay, let's do that first. Let's go to executive session. I make a motion, we go to... We're not gonna...
You don't have to.
We don't have to. We're not going into that tonight. Because we're going into executive session. So, I make a motion to go into executive session. All in favor, discussion? All in favor? Okay,
You can come back.
yeah.
I won't be attending. I'm sorry. It's not safe.
Out of the executive session at 6:27. We come out of the executive session under MRSA 4056A, and I'd like to make a motion that the position of town clerk and town treasurer are equal regarding personnel matters, and in any conflicts, it's brought to the town select person. Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. And I'd like to make a second motion to hire Bernstein Shore, retroactive to 12/20/23, to represent the town. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
What would you be being hired for?
To represent the town.
In what situation?
Thousands of legal matters.
Are we allowed to
Personnel.
know what it is the lawsuits are? Like, I don't know who they're about, but can we know?
No.
I don't think so. No.
This is a personnel matter, this is a personnel.
Yeah. Any more discussion? Okay, all approve? All disapprove? Motion carries.
What about the road commissioner's report? Are we going to go back to that, or?
Yeah, I think we could. How about, well, let's start it off where we, Article 4, audit update. How's our audit?
We're working on it. We're bringing documents in and we're currently working on it. But like I said, the checking account is so far behind by a year that didn't get completed.
If I may, I'd like to request a copy of what the auditor wanted to complete the 2022 and 2023 audit. And I would like to have that emailed to me at the town email.
Why don't you contact them? You could contact them.
Yeah, Belcher's back.
Yeah,
Just-
they'd be happy to send it to you, I'm sure.
We're working on 2023, so that stuff's not all in yet.
So it's not possible to get a copy of anything shared between the town office up to this date before I talk to them?
No, go ahead and ask.
Should I just do an FOA request for that information as a
Sure.
selectman?
Sure,
I'll reach out to MMA then, thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, Article 5, road commissioners report.
Everything's going good right now. We had a couple breakdowns. I was able to get 2 loads of patch last week, so we're going to start patching between snowstorms. And today we're trying to get ready for the snowstorm coming tomorrow.
How is our patch wagon coming, Paul?
Coming along good.
All right.
I've had Dead River, Steve Davis from Dead River come down with the wiring, because somebody just snipped all the wires, but we may have it figured out. I may have to call him back, so
Okay.
Won't be long, no?
hopefully not. We put a big dent in it today. The lock got assembled, so there's not much left to do on it.
Good.
It was brought to my attention that there's a possible claim about a broken windshield on Thibodeau Road. Is that anything you've heard of yet?
Yeah.
And what action was decided? Have we reached out to the insurance company on that subject yet?
Yes, ask the road commissioner,
Yeah.
that was handled.
Yeah, that's Paul.
Are you going to reach out to the insurance company about the claim for the broken windshield?
I didn't know anything about it other than what Matt told me.
Matt's the one that brought it to your attention?
Right, I thought the clerk or whoever's in the office could contact the insurance company. Why do I?
No, they had asked, she just said ask Paul. Kathy just said that. So that's all I'm doing what she told me.
I never contacted the insurance company.
Were you threatened to be written up over?
Yeah.
Who threatened to write you up over?
Didn't threaten me, I just said if they didn't pay for the windshield, that I would be written up for it. Which I said, write me up, but don't pay it.
So what you're saying is, you disagree with the complaint.
I disagree with the
And
complaint.
you suggested that the town not pay it.
I suggested the town not pay it.
And you were told that if the town didn't pay it, you would be written out.
Correct.
Interesting.
By who?
Matt told me that.
Matt.
Yes, I had a conversation with him that we already set a precedent by fixing everybody's broken vehicles that it started with the mud flat, that hey, the precedent has been set. And to move forward with that, we're either gonna have to pay them, and then if we don't pay them, the complaint's gonna get filed, then we're gonna have to, there's gonna be some repercussions of it. And I remember I talked about that we'll have to note that, so.
So would you be writing him up with the authority of the board or on your own?
Oh, no, we're on the own, be the authority of the board.
Well, I just want to make sure we get that on record.
Yeah.
Clarify that.
I'm just saying, it wasn't really, we had to put a note in that, hey, we told the guy we're not gonna fix this thing, where we've already told people in the town we will repair their stuff.
So I'm going to make a motion that the clerk reach out to the town's insurance so the town's insurance can do their homework on this claim. Do I have a second?
You know, there's more to this story than what
Yeah,
meets the
there's a lot more to the story than just,
Well, a lot more to the story still should include the investigative body of the town's
More to the
insurance.
story includes the conversations with Mr. Pelletier, whether you shut your sander off when you meet a car, whether you leave your sander on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
He left the
variables
sander
that go
on,
on here.
and the dirt went up, bounced off the blade and broke the
Allegedly.
guy's
Allegedly.
windshield.
Allegedly.
Well,
That's why
like I said, the
wouldn't it
sander
be-
wasn't off.
Wouldn't it be wise for the town to protect itself by
Oh.
including the insurance? And allowing them to do the homework instead of us kind of possibly being biased?
There wasn't any bias.
Well, I'm saying possible bias.
With respect, Mr. Chair, if we have an insurance policy that protects us,
Yeah,
why wouldn't we file a claim, have the insurance company investigate whether or not it's a valid claim, and make a decision on whether or not to pay it? Isn't that why we have insurance?
then we should have called prior to meeting here, the insurance to fix the lady's car who the
mud
town
flat?
parked in the thing and it tore, and it, I mean, the precedent was already said about,
Well, that didn't come for 6 months after it happened.
well,
But she still voted to fix her car.
Wasn't that less than $200?
Yes.
yeah,
So that
she
probably
was-
didn't even meet our deductible.
You said 6 months ago or whatever, the claim can go on forever. Under municipal highway department, it's called the tort law, and it won't go away, ever. And that's through the state.
Until somebody signs off on their claim with the insurance company, it potentially could come back and back and back, is my understanding. It just seems like a valid motion to submit that claim.
Yeah, it can keep coming
Yep.
back. What the tort law says is public is covered forever, not us.
Yeah,
We're forever on a lawsuit.
yeah.
We're open game. We're like being shot at night. Had a season. But on the other side of it, there's a motion of proof that has to be applied by the complainant. The burden of proof is also on us, or I say us, I'm retired, but we have to prove that, because the state will come at you, and if they got a decent lawyer, they'll say, well, it was an insecure load, no matter what. That's automatic profit.
Yeah.
So if the town can get out of it by giving a couple of $100 for a windshield, do it. Seriously. Because it can get real bad after that.
What if the town's innocent?
That's the game you're gonna have to play, Tom.
That's why we pay for insurance.
That's why, yeah, but I'm saying, it doesn't us from liability as a highway department under the state tort law, which I don't agree with, but they don't give a damn what I think. It is what it is. So I'm just saying, if we can get out of it
That, when we looked into it,
for the windshield versus whatever the hell else they can dream up to hit you with.
yeah,
Because every time we use our insurance, obviously our insurance rate is gonna go up.
yeah.
isn't it?
Just turn it over to the insurance company, they'll fight it out.
Right.
Yeah.
If we broke the windshield, they'll pay it, and if they don't think it, they won't pay it.
That's exactly.
And it's not up to the town to worry about it.
So can I get a second?
There was so much controversy regarding the road, the sander,
Yeah.
the people involved. It was,
Did we pay that?
yes.
So,
But the right way is not always the easy way. So like, give it to the insurance company, that's why we pay for it, and let them do their job. Like, I know it would be easier just to, you know, I don't even know who it was, but like, to shut them up and you pay for the windshield, but it doesn't work.
so when we looked into it, Paul left the sander on when he met the guy on the road. And he had all the photos and documentation when he brought the complaint forward. It was $500 for the windshield. We paid him for the windshield.
Oh, it's all
And
done.
it's all done.
It should have never been
And
done that way. It
what-
should have gone through insurance, we pay insurance.
probably, but like I said, when
We
we
don't
did,
just need to be residents who come in and make complaints.
I agree
It
100%.
should have went through insurance.
Yeah.
That was your mistake.
And
Well-
that's exactly what happened before with the lady with
The
the
lady with the mud
mud
flat.
Well, then you should have filed an insurance claim for that.
They
You
should
guys
have,
just
yeah.
write checks to everybody?
Well, and things don't have to be like they always used to. Yes, they paid for that, the mud flap, so like, rules can change. Like, you guys don't, like, it doesn't have to happen the same way, just because person A got paid, and then you guys learn something, it's like, oh, we shouldn't be paying just everybody.
I've done all the body work my whole life, okay? If you talk rock flew off your tire and hit my windshield, I gotta turn it on my insurance and let my insurance chase your insurance.
Yeah.
That's how it's gotta work.
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever's got the broken windshield, they need to turn it on their own insurance and let them take care of it, and that insurance will chase, will investigate and see if it's your fault or not.
That's right.
So am I understanding that you guys have already taken this upon yourselves to rectify without any consultation as a board of selectmen?
You didn't come to the meeting.
Well, no, it wasn't put on any agendas, there wasn't any discussion about it, it isn't an executive session matter. I'm asking when you guys had a meeting to discuss it without me, because I've attended every selectmen's meeting except for your emergencies and your executive since December 20th. So when did you discuss this? When did it happen?
2 months ago.
2 months ago. So it's happened since December 20th. You guys have evidently met, discussed it, decided and paid the bill. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bill's been paid, I know that.
Interesting.
So,
It is very interesting how this town does work now. Past practices are like infancy now. New beginning, baby steps.
yes, Robert.
Matt, is it, do I understand you correctly, that it is the expectation of the board that highway employees shut the sander off?
When they need a vehicle on the road, the sander is right there on the side of the truck, on the driver's side, and the sand slings to the side of that. That's a question, Paul. It slings to the side towards the oncoming vehicle.
How many hours have you spent in a
I've never been one in it.
okay,
I'm saying that.
hang on. I've spent a lot of hours in the town trucks over my lifetime. When it's storming out and you got a lot going on, because you're probably not wanting to hit someone's mailbox too. Like, I think that's an awful unreasonable expectation. Because I would think that there's probably better equipment or modifications to the equipment that can be made. Because I can guarantee you, when I meet the state trucks, I don't think they're shutting nothing off. And I put 40 to 50,000 miles a year on a vehicle.
You may not know it, but there's a lot going on in the cab of that truck. To be able to turn that off and back on when we
Exactly. So,
It's quote unquote not a law that you shut the spinner off.
Yeah.
It's a courtesy that we've always given to oncoming traffic because of the side discharge now. Years ago, we had rear discharge, it wasn't for that. But now we have the side discharge, and it depends on what setting you're on.
Yeah.
Is how far we're broadcasting this thing. It's just a matter of courtesy. I know, because I have to look at it this way. If I had a $50,000 vehicle, I sure wouldn't want it happen with standing tall.
Most people wouldn't.
So it's a courtesy.
So how did this happen? We had a meeting with a town employee, and we told him that we would write him up.
No, the complaint came in first.
Okay.
The documentation, the photos, and where, where he went way off in the ditch and get out the photos and the whole thing. And then we asked Paul about it. I come to Paul and questioned him, and I said, hey, what's the scoop? And we looked into that, what he said, and then after that, we had to say, okay, what are we going to do with it?
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, but when we had the mud flap issue, it was placed on the agenda. The person showed up.
Yeah.
The person stood up in a town meeting,
Yep.
presented the case. The selectmen questioned in an open meeting how it happened,
Yep.
deliberated among themselves, took a
Yep.
vote to pay the claim.
That's right.
It sounds like this was handled totally differently.
Yeah, well, they didn't bring it to the town, town meeting side. They brought it to us. And
It was brought to selectmen, selectperson will place it on the agenda. And it was discussed.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
what we're hearing about now
Yeah.
is that it was handled not by a quorum of the board and not in a public meeting. A decision was made, evaluated by a quorum of the board outside of a meeting, and a decision was made to take $500 of taxpayer money and pay it on a claim that might have been covered by our insurance company. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, we'll put the claim right into the insurance company, not a problem.
Well,
We just thought,
it is possible that we could be...
Trouble was, this was a contentious situation between Paul and the person on the road who made the complaint. And instead of having it blow up into a major event, we thought, hey, let's
If we didn't have him sign a release, he could come back for other things based on that incident. We do realize that. I mean, one of the things the insurance company does to protect the town is, they say, we will pay this claim, you will sign this release, releasing us from all further injuries or anything else that could have possibly happened. So that's the value in using our insurance company, is my point. And I would just urge that be the precedent we follow going forward.
Thanks. Okay.
Question. So was this decision to pay the $500 the subject of a vote?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. There was a bill that came in, just like any other bill, brought a bill in from the glass company to have it paid. And then we looked into it and we said, okay, pay the bill. That's how it went. There wasn't but like I said, the whole situation was quite contentious between Paul and the guy it happened to, and to alleviate, it was a family matter, and we didn't want it drug out into the public like all the other dirty laundry in the town. That's the reason.
It's an automobile claim.
Yes, or a damage complaint, or damage claim, yes.
I have one other question. You mentioned you just voted on, you went into executive session and you came back out and you made a change to personnel roles of the clerk and the administrator. Is that correct?
There's no administrator.
Could you read what you just...
Yeah, she's a town treasurer.
Town treasurer, yes.
So you made that change. Why is that a matter for executive session? Why is that not something that's properly before the public here?
The whole thing had been rescinded.
Yeah.
The whole
But then
thing
you came back and voted again to implement that again.
Yeah.
Why was that done in executive session?
Because it's a personnel matter.
It's not a personnel
It
matter.
is a personnel matter. When the two people that are working in the office can't get along and they come into conflict, there's not one that can overrule the other. It will need to be brought to the selectmen to determine the decision.
So why is that procedure not, the decision to adopt that procedure not subject to public debate here in front of in a selectmen's meeting? Why is that in executive session?
Because we are the supervisors of the personnel.
Okay, I just wanted some clarification on that. Thank you.
All right. Town office report.
Give us a little bit. So,
Okay,
thank you.
so under other business, I got one thing there. The cleaning of the town office, we've got a quote from Mike Haney. It's $300 for the first cleaning, the initial cleaning of the town office, hallways and stuff. And then it's $100 a month for him to come in and clean the town office.
Will he need a key?
Nope, he's gonna come in on Tuesday that the town office is late, that they stay open late.
Would you have an issue with him having a key?
I would have an issue with him having a key.
Why is that?
Well, I don't think everybody should have a key.
Not our cleaning person?
We didn't do that before.
They have one here at the school, a cleaning person that comes in at night.
I'm not being argumentative, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm asking you a question.
I don't think that the cleaning outfit from across the street should have a key to the town office. I believe they should come during, we can make the exception, so we can be in more control of our environment.
I'm not so sure that a cleaning person can always come during the day when we're open for business, people coming in and out.
Well, he
to
just
be
said they were
vacuuming
coming
and
the
washing the
nights.
floors.
We discussed it, we talked to him about coming in on the days that.
So what are we arguing about?
About him having a key.
Right, well,
If
it
we are
sounds like he doesn't
determined he
need one.
needs a key.
Well, I guess we discussed that at the time, if there's a need.
Maybe he needs it.
So,
I'll make a motion to hire Haney's Cleaning to clean the town office at $100 a month, to do $300 for the first cleaning.
one second,
I'll second it.
all in favor? We had our discussion. All opposed? Next item under other business, cameras. The camera system is all done. They finished it today, all complete. It's all set up. Paul's got his cameras, the town office got his cameras, and they're all got their login names and passwords. Nice little setup. And that's it for other business.
And what did that cost us?
9,000 and some change. Yeah, there was an article last.
Yeah, I don't remember, I was just trying to.
Like $9,000.
Should be a nice little setup for the money.
Yep.
Sure is.
That's it.
How about on the steering committee? Do they have
Oh.
any updates for us? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody on the steering committee?
As the chair to the steering committee, we have not met. We are meeting again this Thursday. We would like to be on the agenda
Yes.
for the next selectmen's meeting, so we can give you an update at that time.
Okay. Your email has gone in for the code?
Yes.
Have you received it?
I have not, because I have been away, but I've been working with Bridget to get that.
Okay. And is Dave Hall here? Have you got an email back? Okay, well, you'll be getting it, and your key is ready too. So whenever you get your email, set up your code, come see us for the keys there. How about the comprehensive board? Any updates?
Everything's going well, we're still working on it. We haven't reviewed the surveys yet coming in. We have quite a few days, about 200 and some.
About 200.
Yeah, so this week, probably tomorrow, we're going to start going over. See where we are.
Great news. All right. Article number 9. Motion to. Second?
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Meeting is adjourned.